to know who Peter Obi truly is. To know that the Peter Obi that we are seeing now is not pretending. We need to go back 10 years, go back 20 years to see who he truly was. You see, they say people never change. What a man was, particularly people who are in their 50s and 60s, what he was 10 years before, 20 years before, is a truer reflection of the true character of that person. So I went back and I found an interview in 2014. I observed the body language of Peter Obi in that interview. And then I formed my own opinion. I'm not going to tell you what my opinion is. I will leave you to watch the interview yourself. Draw your own conclusions. Watch the video.
Our special guest for this week is former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Looking back at the 8 years or so that you were governor, can you just give us a little self-assessment of those years?
Well, for me, I always say it is not for me to assess myself. It's for the people to assess what I did in 8 years.
That's why I said it was an unfair
People
question.
always say to me, what is your best achievement and everything? I said, well, bringing sanity and peace to the state. You know, that is more critical than any other thing. You know, we brought them, was like moving from where there is chaotic, disorganized, and you're trying to just turn it into sanity, moving the people again from the way of their thinking and perception of life to the right direction. That is the most critical thing. And a lot of other things, a few things you can look at. If you look at the newspapers just 2 days ago, it says Anambra State best in WAEC and Nigeria. When I started campaigning, schools were closed in Anambra State, remember, for 18 months. So there was no school. People were withdrawing their children from schools and sending them to another state. And then the teachers were not paid for it. To a situation where when I left, they're not the best in the country. In WAEC, in NECO and everything, you know, those things come back. So you can look at it and say, well, listen, schools were taken forcefully from missionaries for 40 years. So there was a few things that the people would judge with. We can look at the issue of health and say, well, listen, we were the best in the Bill Gates Fund competition. And a few other things, we have a teaching hospital. So there were a few other, but the people will assess.
Let's take a look at education for starters. In terms of education, in your 8 years, you said the state became the best just as you were leaving. What percentage was scored in WAEC by?
Well, it was about 67, 68%. But when you compare it to where it used to be, you know, for us to, in a situation where, since the state was created, we've never been among the best 10. To now move to be the best, you know, it's quite a huge movement. And I can tell you that I'm sure it will be sustained at that.
So when you look at the quality of education that the children in Anambra State are receiving, for example, quite a few governors have been here, either on this program or on our sister program, Sunrise Daily. And the impression given is we have very poor quality of teachers.
Oh, no, I agree entirely that I mean, in the whole of West Africa, Ghana came top. There's no reason why Ghana should come top to Nigeria. Yes, they still, you see, what I tell people is, we are not there. Anambra State or Nigeria is not where we should be. The commitment is not having 100% result. It's 100% effort. Let us know we're in the right direction, whether it's in power, whether it's in poverty, let us be on the right road. When I took over, my commitment, one of my commitments was that we don't know where we're going. So when you don't know where you're going, every road will lead you there. So what we did was to design a clear vision, which we anchored on the universally accepted vision, Millennium Development Goals. Because that is what is universally accepted, that if you do this, you're doing the right thing. So there's no need to go and start doing 10-point, 2-point agenda when there's something that is already universally designed. What we did is to fashion a strategy within that universally accepted vision of the UN and said, since this is accepted, let us fashion a strategy for delivery of all this. And that's what we christened Anambra Integrated Development Strategy, which is just a single process that allowed us to work in all areas of MDGs, plan properly, ensure that we budget to suit the plan, execute and assure delivery. We moved our planning and budgeting from being supply-driven to demand-driven. We go to the people and say, we want to work on health. What do you want us to do? With this, we will work on all areas of MDG simultaneously. And you can go to the UN and ask them the result. So you can go to Anambra State and ask them the result. You can go to the people and ask them the result.
So when you look at what you have done over the 8 years, Millennium Development Goals are quite clear and very succinct. And when you look at that, in terms of quality and quantity of achievement in percentage terms, where would you say, after 8 years of your
Just
assessment?
go and ask the people.
No, you must know.
No,
you must know what you did.
You cannot be a participant in an examination and mark yourself. The people
but I would know what I scored.
That is why. No. It is after the people have scored you. Let me tell you, when people from TRUE Nigerian Institute of Strategic Studies came to me in Anambra State, they said to me, go and ask them. I think it was a section that was, I can call people who are involved that are not prominently Mrs. Anini. And they said to me, oh, wait, we want you to bring people to Oka so we can talk to them and know how your government is doing. I said, okay, come out in the morning, we'll go to. So when they came out in the morning, waiting to see the people I brought from various areas of Anambra State, I said, this is your boss. I'm going to enter this bus without security. Let's go to the market. So we drove straight to the market in Onitsha. They said, no, your security. I said, no security. Let me tell you, nobody wants to kill you if you're doing the right thing, because they too want to have the right thing. So don't worry. We will go to the market. When we get to the market, ask anybody you like in the market. So, because if I bring people here, there are people who are paid, designed to say what they want to say. So they go to the market in Onitsha. What they tell you is the truth. Okay. I can pay for you to go to the market, but not to tell you here that I did well, I didn't do well. Okay. It is the people, because you are serving the people. You are here complaining about power. I'm sure that if you call those who are providing power, they say power is everywhere. But what you want to do
say that.
Yeah, so now the people say is there.
And they do tell us.
For me, service is about the people. It is the people that will say, you're on the right track. And I thank the people of Anambra State. They supported me with their prayers, with the support and everything. You know, this is the first time I'm appearing in a TV show in 3 years. I didn't know channel was here. I used to know when you were in Maryland, and I went there. They said, oh, they're no longer there. This is your third year of being here. I've never been here. Okay. Because I'm not a TV presenter, not a TV listener. I'm serving the people of Anambra State. Okay. Let the people tell you.
Okay. Still talking about education. Once upon a time, the states in the East had the problem of the boy child not going to school. So the classrooms were literally filled with girls because the boys wanted to go and trade at an early age. Is that problem still persistent?
Just go to Anambra State and you see the change. The change was because the people were allowed, they saw money as everything. One of the things we try to do in government is to say, money is not everything. Education is the most important investment. Education is the most critical thing. I still maintain the most important thing for this country of anywhere is education. Education will be the only currency for competition tomorrow. And you need it. You need to educate people properly. All these things we are complaining in this country is because of our lack of education. If people are properly educated, they will say, this is what we want, this is what we want. So for us, education was very critical and fundamental, even when it is already a goal that is within the MDG that is critical. But we took it even a step ahead and said, no, we have to get it right. Go to schools now and see the increase in schools, boys' schools like DMDS, CKC, colors of them, you can see the increase there. Because we made the child say, oh no, you can be a trader. There's nothing wrong in being a trader. I was a trader. Till I went to government, if you see my passport, what it says, profession, trader. There's nothing. I've seen traders in New York, traders in Japan, traders everywhere. There's nothing wrong. I was a trader. But I went to school.
Exactly.
Everybody's trading, you know. Even what you're doing here, it's not about trading. You're probably trading in the broadcasting section. I'm trading in commodities. So it is nothing wrong. But what is wrong is that in doing that, there's some things you need to acquire. And education is critical.
Some knowledge.
Okay, there's a reason I would ask this question, and I'll get to the point very quickly. The question is, in terms of, some people have said that you've done very well in managing the economy of the state, and they're also saying that you did save money, and the new governor would have something to spend. How true is it?
Let me tell you, when I did my end of tenure presentation, I was very clear that we did save money. In investment, we didn't say there's cash kept somewhere. When I came in as the governor, and I still said about our country, Nigeria, no country, no human being, no system can exist without saving. Whenever I see people arguing about sovereign wealth fund, it's a screw their life. This country should agree that all the money we get every month, that we're going to save 5 or 10% for the future. Because this oil is not just for us who are here today, it's for our children. It is money, and this is a diminishing assets. So we must be able to save something for tomorrow. So when I became governor, I made a law that Anambra State must save monthly. Based on that law, looking at that law, I was able to say, okay, we save 50% in foreign currency to hedge against, in quote, maybe rate exchange or this, and if we want to borrow tomorrow in foreign currency, then let's save half in local currency. So if you look at that, that's what we did. The money is not there. For example, I can say comfortably, at the time I left office, we've been able to save $156 million in foreign currency. They are domiciled in banks in Nigeria. The banks are known, Fidelity, Diamond, and Access Bank is there. But they're all used to purchase foreign and local bonds. Like, for example, federal government have issued dollar bonds. Other countries of the world, Gabon, South Africa, everywhere, we bought their bonds. That's what we did.
Okay, so...
And that tenured loan. In the local one, we did the same thing. We said, okay, fund these savings. Why don't we do a shopping mall? Why don't we do a hotel? So for us, this is the kind of saving. So between these two, for example, we've been able to build a portfolio of over 50 billion. Another thing, so it is not that we kept money where we actually can say we started a saving, which I know the present governor will build on or use a different strategy, because they can decide, okay, let me use these savings as a hedge to leverage in order to accelerate what I'm doing and come back to save.
Okay,
because you can take savings, borrow money, do more business, and save more.
Okay, where I was actually going, I'm glad you mentioned numbers in terms of the savings that you've got. What do you say to people who say that you're saving money and you're definitely investing part of that money, like you said, in buying bonds, which will bring you interest, of course, and you will get money out of it. But in terms of infrastructure development, Anambra State is not where it could be.
Nowhere. We did the right things. You see, let me tell you one thing about development. You must develop within what you call your own. You call it, and there's a difference between building infrastructure or doing this and the human infrastructure that is also developing. For example, let me give you an example. You can come to Lagos in Victoria Land and build a theater, a cinema theater. People will. If you do the same thing in Ajegunle, I can tell you the business will collapse. You know, it is
they
not
watch
you.
Nollywood.
No, yes, so no.
They will watch
No.
Nollywood.
I'm just giving you an example. If you go and do a shopping mall in Lagos, fine. If you go and do it in my village, it will fail.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
What we needed in Anambra State, put it in what I said, the MDG goal. When we did our MDG goal, the most critical part of MDG was fighting extreme poverty, which is goal number 1. We were the first state to do poverty mapping. We were the first state to do statistical record of poverty indices in the various areas of Anambra State. And we found out where is the poorest area of Anambra State. Anambra West, Ayamelum, Obaru, Oka North, and everything. And when we studied, we said, why are they poor? And we found out one of the greatest things we needed was access. So if you go today, for the first time, there's a road 43 kilometers started by me, finished by me in Ayamelum. There's already in Anambra West, for the first time, you can drive to Anambra West, at least from Anam to Miata. You don't know this person called. If you go to Obaru, you can now go.
We were in Oka for
Thank
the
you.
election.
You cannot go to Obaru. You can now move from Onitsha to Samala in Obaru, a place that used to take at least 4 hours, you can do in 15 minutes. The same thing in Oka North, you can go from a place they call Amansi to Obo family. So we started opening up those places, access to them. Today, I can say that Anambra State can boast the best road connectivity in Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I stand to say, go, if you have any place better, come to me. I will apologize and I will not say it again. But I say it categorically.
Okay.
We did over 800 kilometers of road. So we did what we needed to do. We built teaching hospital. We have small medical centers in all the communities. So development must be in line with what is expected in society. So you don't just get up one morning and start building 24 tall building and say, oh, it's that is not development. Development, you must say, we're in Lagos.
So in terms of infrastructure development, there is absolutely no reason for anyone to
we are
say
where
that
we
there's
should
a
be.
deficiency.
For the new government, which I'm glad they're doing the right thing, will continue for.
Okay, so in terms of poverty then, you mentioned poverty, fighting.
When we opened up those roads, Kayode, these were mainly farmers. The goods they used to sell a basket of food for 2,000, they were selling for 10,000, 15,000. So we started changing the end. We're not there. There's still gaps. But we started changing it where I keep saying it is not about 100% result. It's 100% effort in the right direction.
Okay, let's look at your party for a little bit. Your party, APGA, one governor not too long ago decamped. What is APGA looking like right now? Is it as strong as it used to be? Is it weaker? Elections are next year.
APGA is as strong as it was before the governor came. He was in transit, and normal like people were in transit. You can never say, "Oh, they are with you." He was not part. It was not a. It was at times it's difficult for you to understand. It is when people are not part of the process. You know, it was well, I wouldn't describe what it is. It's we wish him well in whatever he's doing, but He wasn't there with us.
But there's
Why do
always-
you say that he was in transit?
Abga is like a philosophy. It's like you call it a movement of the people. They believe in it. They have a reason to be part of it. And again, when I talk about political party issues, people should be leadership, and those who are involved in it should be people of consistent character. Abga today is as strong as it is under the chairmanship of Victor May. We are strong. We have issues. There's a time we have issues. You know me. There was a time I even disagreed with him, and I decided, oh, listen, wait a minute. We tried, we quarreled with it and everything, because I had issues. The issues were not based on anything. It wasn't the case of, oh, you did this. No. For me, in life, you disagree with people based on issues. And we did on issues. And when the courts of appeal in Enugu said, oh, this is the position, I said, okay, the people who were with me, enough is enough. Let's come back as a family, forge ahead under this man, do the right thing. And that's what we did that helped us to produce the governor of Anambra State today under Willie Obiano. As you know, and one people will say, oh, maybe he will leave Abga tomorrow. It's a subject. It's not politics is not about running from one place to the other. And then, no. Whatever you can do it from wherever you are and do it properly.
Well, elections are, national elections are next year. Well, of course, Anambra is not taking part in this, having had theirs. What are the chances of Abga in the scheme of things?
No, we're taking part in it. We just do the election for governor. We're going to do senatorial election. We're going to do the election House of Rep and House of Assembly. And I can tell you we're strong and we're going to do it.
In Anambra State?
Yes, in Anambra State.
But in other states?
In other states, we're going to participate.
What are the chances?
Oh, the chances are bright. They can look, let me tell you what it is. They can look at what we did in Anambra State. Yes, there was a program where, for example, Governor Fashola said, nobody can say Peter Obi did not serve his state, his people, and the country well. Kaede, Governor of Ekiti, got up and said the same thing. At least these are not paid people. They don't need to say it in a gathering.
And they don't belong to your party?
Yes, and let me tell you what Fashola said. He said, doing good work has nothing to do with party or coloration. So if anybody is doing something good, we admit that he's doing something good. Like I will admit that there's something good for the country. And so for me, it is, so when I see people jumping from here to here or doing this, no. You have to be consistent. Leadership is, you have to be consistent, focus on the job. Know what you said yesterday, you fulfill it today. Where there's disagreement, you come out and say, I disagree with this. And know when that disagreement maybe ends, and you say, okay, fine, that's it. Abga is strong, Abga is doing well, and I assure you that he will continue to do well. I'm not one of those fanatics that runs around.
So when you have a governor from your political party moving to another political party, don't you think he would have taken the party?
No. I said he was in transit.
No, he came into
he was a
office.
Transit passenger. No. Transit passengers must behave like transit passengers.
He came into office.
No. Let me tell you,
political party.
You just came back from London this morning. If you were moving from New York to Nigeria and you stop over in London, there's a possibility you can decide to jump into another plane or stay 2 days or go away. This is it. But if you were originally the driver, owner, and part of it, you will stay on, even when it is difficult. Can have been a governor of Anambra State, the most difficult state in Nigeria for 8 years, under Abga, delivered the state to Abga.
But some people are saying that your position at the moment, you're leaning towards another political party.
That is what I've always done throughout.
Leaning towards another political party.
That's what I've always done throughout. What I do, leadership is about serving the people. So if you can have what I will take to be able to serve my people well, I lean towards you. Because it is about the people.
And collect what
I need to be with them. Let me tell you,
So you needed to be with PDP?
I needed to be with the president of Nigeria.
Okay, you were not with PDP,
being in a separate party does not make me a different person from the president. We need to support the president of the country, because whatever we do, remember, this is our country. Those who run around running down the country and everything are not hurting President Jonathan, they're hurting the country. It is about our country. It's about the country our children will live in. My children, I carry Nigerian passport with pride. Everybody sees me wherever I travel. I have my green passport with pride, and I have to be in anywhere that will make it work. If President Jonathan, like he is today, is our president, I will support him wholeheartedly, and I do. Everybody, nobody is in doubt where I stand with him. You know, let those who want to criticize him do so constructively. If you have a better idea, suggest it. That's what leadership and learning are inseparable. Nobody knows everything. Anybody who knows everything is an idiot.
So if the president offers you ministerial position now, will you take it?
If the president wants me to do anything, I'll do it for this country. This is what it is. Not just ministerial. It is for the country. You have to think about the future of your children. That is it. I'm not looking for a job. As you know, I can go back to the industry where I'm coming from. I've made a success, but you have to also think about the country and where your children will live in.
So is there any truth in the rumor that we're hearing that the center is actually looking at you for a post?
I don't know what the center is looking at. I don't know what the branch is looking at. My interest is, it is time to give this country the hope. It is time to ensure to people, give them the right messages with the right messengers.
Okay. Now, we'd like to find out what your thoughts are regarding the national conference, which is ongoing.
Well, I won't make a lot of comment on the national conference, being that I believe that those who are there are a collection of people I believe are well-meaning Nigerians. My only suggestion is, let them look at the future of Nigeria. Let them look at the future of the society their children will live in. My worry about this country is that we have a situation where those of us who are over 50 are looking at bequeathing our children anarchy. And nobody's panicking about it. Nobody's saying anything about it. When you say, let's save, people say, oh, we're not saving. We're saving for anything. People say, no, it's already raining here. No, it's not already raining. That doesn't stop you from saving. Because the same people who are saying this are taking the public wealth and building houses all over the place for their children. In Dubai, in Japan, in South Africa, in this. So why are you doing that if it is raining? Why don't you consume all of it? So we should be doing that. We should be investing. The country, if you go today, you have small countries who have strong investments, strong savings for their future of their children. So those in national conference should look at how do we build a better country. We cannot build it the way it's going now. We cannot build it on falsehood. We cannot build it on people not or criticizing and quarreling with each other. When I look at what is happening with the politics and everything, everybody is more interested in the next post. Nobody is interested in solving the problem. There's a problem we have already on the ground. Why don't we solve the problem? We're all interested in, appearing before TV, having a front page cover of newspaper, doing this. People will tell you, Peter, you're not properly publicized. You're not, but the problem is here. Why are you publicizing? Why don't you solve this problem here? If the schools are working, the schools, like now, I didn't have to go and write front page newspapers that Anambra is best in WAEC. What we did is to support the schools produced the result, which gave us front page. But if we were paying front page when the schools were collapsing, it's of no use. Let us stop this pen trying to deceive the people and talk to the real thing. There's a problem in the country. Let us solve the problem.
You've served your state at the highest level. I don't think you can do much more than what you've done in the last 8 years.
Period.
And I guess your vision now is national and possibly global.
No, even local government. I want my local government to work.
But you will not want
I
to
want,
become
I don't want to become
chairman.
You don't want to be. You must not be chairman or be this to be part. But I want the local government chairman to know, hey, wait a minute. What we want is to give people hope. Don't come and tell us you're doing this when you're not doing it. If you know what you're doing, say it. And always be ready to learn. People say to me, oh, what is your successor going to do? He has a lot of job to do. We've just laid the foundation. And even in laying the foundation of any building, you can, maybe there's an area the foundation is not good because there might be crack from there. You do it properly. Like I said, and remember that most of the things I did, I had to do it dragging the people, yelling and crying, even with the times without the rules, because you know what I said when I was impeached? People said to me, oh, you were impeached. What happened with your impeachment? I said, I did nothing. And people didn't believe me. I said, I did nothing. The only problem I did is that I was a driver who had a bus load of people who had since passed their destination, and I was trying to take them a good destination. So when they couldn't stop me, they pushed me out to go back to where they used to be. So I had to drag them from there, yelling and crying, to the destination where I brought them now.
So what's your vision for Nigeria? Because this is something that I find quite interesting. Once you've served as a governor, some people will then look at, go to the Senate and cool off for another 4-8 years.
No, I'm not going to the Senate.
Vision for Nigeria?
I'm not going to the Senate. I'm not going to anywhere. And those who are going, they have their reasons to want to go to the Senate. My purpose is that I'm not going to the Senate, and neither am I going to House of Rep. But yes, I want, if I have the opportunity, if I'm asked to serve Nigeria at any level in order to get things to work, I will do that. It is, I keep saying that by the society my children will live in. I do one thing every day. I tell my children to travel to the most difficult part of the world. My first son spent 1 year going from Costa Rica to a couple of Vietnam, all those things. He's a primary school teacher. That's what he done. I have only one son, and there's a primary school. He goes, help them build schools and everything. As I talk now, he's somewhere in Africa. I think he's in Tanzania. Phoned me yesterday. I said, in Tanzania, I'm on Easter holidays. I'm helping the children in Tanzania. And they said, listen, when there was earthquake in Haiti, I spent 1 week there with him. I went personally as the governor. We went together, and he can experience. For us, we stayed in a place where we had to queue to use the toilet, to use the bathroom. And when we come in the morning, I'm number 20, he's number 25, and everything. I was governor. And he could experience that we're privileged, and we have to. So all those things done and everything. My daughter came in this morning, and he said to me, listen, Daddy, I want to go to Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, and this, because I heard what is happening to the children. I've asked him every time. I said to my son and my daughter, why don't you do this in Nigeria? Well, my son said, Daddy, I can't do it here. Wherever I go, they say, it's governor's son, it's Peter Obi's son. They can't even allow me to live my life. You are the governor. I didn't ask them to vote for me. You asked them to vote for you. So I want to live my life by looking after the children. What I want to see in Nigeria is that let people care for the country. It is a country. We have people who are hungry, we have people without jobs and everything. And that is where I support President Jonathan. He means well. I can say it any day. He thinks about the country. What we need now is to also have people who will do the same thing, because he can't do everything. He's alone. He needs, and people, when I look at people like Ngozi Well, and people won't understand, Ngozi means well. And we're getting more, when you get more and more people, because for you to succeed in government, it won't just be you. It's like a preacher in the church. If you're preaching and everybody wants to go to hell and doing the opposite, there's no way you can make a good bishop, because anything you like, you preach. They go out and do the worst things, So that is what is happening to them. A preacher or the bishop, the congregation must believe in the same thing and be doing it. You might have one or two, like Jesus did, can have one or two Judas along the line. But when the Judas is more than the people, if all the 10 disciples were, people who are criminals, it would have been sold earlier than the time they sold him. So we wasted time because he was only one. The other ones believed in him. So what we need now is to convert more souls to believing in what we are doing, to believing that this is the right way to go, to believing that maybe rebasing or this is good, things like that.
You're saying
talking
what we're
about-
doing as you're part of this government then?
No, I'm not part
government.
of it. I'm saying, well, I participate in it one or two ways.
Okay. Now we have to start winding down now. What would be your message to Anambrarians all over Nigeria as their ex-leader?
Well, mine is to support the present government. That's what I do. I believe
Government of
I believe that
Obiano.
Willie Obiano will do well. I believe he means well. He needs our prayers. He needs our support. Wherever I go, that is what I do, just like I do for President Jonathan. Remain prayerful, remain steady, do everything. Don't just go into criticizing. When they bring out policy, look at the policy and urge them to do the right thing. And I believe, like I said, he started now. He started in the right direction. I watched 2 days ago, they were doing security seminar, which is good. That is what's it, because security is very critical. And I was happy when the IG of police said in 5 years, there have not been any bank robbery in Anambra State. That seems to be sustained. It's true. We never had any bank robbery while I was there. So that's why it needs to be sustained. It needs to be improved on. And so it's in other areas. For me, that's what I want them to do. I've talked wherever there's need for me to be part of advising on anything. That's it. But my most important prayer is that he succeed. And don't forget, I'm part of his guarantor, if you may say. So it is critical that he succeeds, because it becomes a problem for you when you sign a guarantor for anybody and then the person fails. So for me, it is critical that Willie Obiano and Kibokeke government succeed. And I pray for them every day. I can tell you. I pray for Jonathan, I pray for Nigeria, I pray for them and everything. And that's why whenever I see any issue that people like issue of rebasing now going on and people are talking what they shouldn't be talking, I feel bad. Because this is a move in the right direction. Rebasing is done, it was done in Canada, in Australia, in the US, in Britain and everything. Somebody found that there's what you needed to include in your calculation, which you didn't include, you included it, which has made our country great, had made our debt to GDP come below 10%. What we should be doing now is say, since we are allowed to borrow maybe up to 60% of our GDP, now that it's come low, what are we going to look at and say? Some people say, oh, don't borrow. Some people say, no, it's not. Let us look at those things that we can do that can change and create jobs. Let us look at those things that can make us build on infrastructure that is totally deficit. Let us look at those things that will provide power and say, okay, this thing, there's nothing wrong in borrowing. If you're borrowing to do what will bring value and pay itself back, borrow.
Okay, so finally, we have to close now. And let me just ask you this one question as we close, and that is, will APGA have a presidential candidate, or are you looking at supporting the man you believe has a vision for Nigeria?
Well, that is for the party. For me...
But you're pretty much the
yes.
chairman emeritus.
I'm leader in APGA, but
Yes.
it is not for me. I like to talking... When you want to talk for a party, you consult other people. We have party chairman, we have a governor, we have other leaders in the party. You talk, you
So
don't
it
go
will
and
be the
answer.
decision of the party.
It's not me. I don't answer recklessly. You need to consult.
Okay.
It is important. It's leader of the party. Victor May is there as the chairman, Willie Obiano is there as the governor. Even if I'm the leader, you consult them and you deal with them.
Okay.
All right.
Our
Thank you very
special
much.
guest of the week this morning, the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Never reinforce failure. That was Olusegun Obasanjo. Very, very smart statement. That statement was made for Jonathan in 2015. And you will agree with me that it matched the Jonathan administration at that time in 2015. Never reinforce failure. That statement was also made for Buhari in 2019 and in 2023. Again, you will agree that the statement was also true. It matched the Buhari administration perfectly. Never reinforce failure. And now in 2026, going on to 2027, the statement has come up again. Never reinforce failure. Now I agree that we should never reinforce failure, as I know that many Nigerians agree that we should never reinforce failure. And I can see a lot of ADC supporters reposting and uploading and reacting to this video, thanking Obasanjo for making the statement, never reinforce failure. And the idea is that the Tinubu administration has been a colossal failure. I don't think anybody can argue with that except you are an APC supporter. The average Nigerian would agree that the Tinubu administration has been a colossal failure. So, if the words of Obasanjo is anything to go by, we should not reinforce failure. And that means we should vote out Tinubu in 2027. Agreed. But here's where I have a concern with ADC supporters or coalition supporters, because really a lot of the people supporting the ADC are actually doing that because of the coalition and because of their love for Peter Obi. So, here's the thing. If voting Tinubu is reinforcing failure, and you want us to vote him out in 2027, because we should never reinforce failure, is it not reinforcing failure to allow the likes of Aregbesola, David Mark, to take over the leadership of ADC? Is that not reinforcement of failure? Because these are the same people like Senator Dino Melaye, Malami. You are giving them control of an opposition party that is supposed to stop failure. Is it not reinforcing failure to stop failure? What is good for the goose is good for the gander. Abi? Is that not how they say it? I think they have changed it to what is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Anyhow, if it is reinforcing failure to allow Tinubu a second term, I would therefore say that it is also reinforcing failure to force the likes of David Mark, Aregbesola, Dino Melaye, Malami on the ADC as leaders. Except you want to tell me that there are no credible young Nigerians in the African Democratic Congress, in that coalition, that can move and drive the party to success, then what is good for the goose is good for the gander. If we will allow a David Mark to be chairman of the ADC, then what is wrong with allowing Tinubu to go for a second term? What is good for the goose is good for the gander. I am against Tinubu going for second term because he has failed. Nigerians are being punished on a daily basis with his policies. He has only succeeded in enriching himself and his cronies, not even his tribe. Because really, can you say that Yorubas are enjoying under Tinubu? You can't say that. I know a lot of Yoruba people that are suffering. The majority of the Yorubas are suffering under Tinubu. So you can't even say he succeeded as a Yoruba president because Yoruba Lokon. He has failed. In terms of oil and gas, he has failed. In terms of power generation, electricity, he has failed. In terms of price education, he has failed. In terms of fighting corruption, he has failed. In terms of security, he has failed. And I agree that he should be a one-term president. We should not reinforce failure. But moving forward, in order for us to manifest the new Nigeria that we know is possible, we cannot reinforce failure by allowing disgruntled politicians to hijack the party called the African Democratic Congress. This is not a call to support Nafiu Bala Gombe. It is not. Because many of you seem to think that. The idea is this. There must be a level playing field. Those who failed Nigeria yesterday cannot in any way be in a position to fix Nigeria today. When they have had multiple chances to fix Nigeria, they didn't fix Nigeria. David Mark, Dino Melaye, all these people know is how to use public funds to enrich themselves. I can never be comfortable with them. I am not comfortable that Peter Obi is in their midst. I am not even certain. I doubt very strongly that they will give Peter Obi a ticket if they are able to resolve this leadership crisis in time. I doubt it very, very much. But here is the thing. Even if Peter Obi gets the ticket on the ADC platform, which will be a miracle, I still will be uncomfortable working with these people who have contributed tremendously to the destruction of Nigeria, to the nationalization of Nigeria's debts, and personalization of Nigeria's profits. A leopard cannot change its skin. Don't give me this excuse of, oh, they are now born again, they are repentant. They are not repentant. If they are repentant, will they take over the ADC the way they did? Would they not have gone about it a democratic way by asking Ralph Nwosu to call for a national convention and respecting the constitution of the ADC? Would they not have done that? The fact that they didn't do that shows to me they are not repentant. They are just disgruntled, sad that they have been displaced, out of power, and their sources of cheap, free income is no longer there, and they are hiding behind, we want to save democracy, to force themselves on Nigerians again. That I am not comfortable with. So yes, Obasanjo has said it, never reinforce failure. It's good for Tinubu, it is also good for Atiku and David Mark and Aregbesola and Dino Melaye and Malami. The only exception there is Peter Obi, because he did well as governor of Anambra State. The only coalition that we need is a coalition of the people. That was what we had in 2023, and we succeeded to a large extent. If not for lack of proper coordination, we would have gone all the way to Aso Rock. So don't come and tell me, oh, PDP got 6.9 million votes. If we added that to Peter Obi's 6.1 million votes, it would have been more than that of Tinubu. Don't give me that excuse. If Peter Obi goes it alone right now, with the awareness and experience that we have, with the structure that we can build, in 2027, we get all those votes for Atiku. We will get all of them. Because those votes were not really for Atiku. They were for PDP. But right now, with the level of experience of hardship and poverty that Nigerians have gone through under Tinubu, they will do the right thing. So what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Don't forget to check the link and check out votewatch.pro. That is the solution to free and fair elections in 2027, without which Peter Obi cannot get to Aso Rock. Check it, sign up, become a PU Marshal. Let us guard our democracy together.